Hey folks, I haven't made a reading video in the new year, but I have been reading. This week I finished two books. I finished Midnight Tides by Stephen Erickson, and this is part of the Malazan, I think is how you pronounce it, uh, Book of the Fallen. This is a epic dark fantasy where like the world is just constantly at war, and there's magic and there's betrayal. And in this one, Erickson introduces a whole bunch of new characters, and it takes a while to get understand what's happening. And one of the things that Erickson does well is the characters in the book also don't know what's happening, so you're not alone as the reader. This is a big book, and I listened to it. I read it in print and I read it on Kindle. I went a three-prong attack on this guy, and you know, I'm, these books are such that it seems like I will never understand what's going on. And But with each book in the series, I start to get a little bit more of a better picture of what's going on. So this is book 5, and I believe there are 10 books total, 9 or 10. And so plugging away. The other book that I finished was Talking to Strangers by Malcolm Gladwell. And this is a book about how we really don't know what's going on in other people's brains, and how sometimes people make uh, judgment calls about strangers that we have no reason to make that call. And this was a very sobering book. It was not pleasant to read. Honestly, there were times where it was tough because he deals with some difficult subject matter of like police brutality and um, uh, abuse, the Jerry Sandusky case, and like there's some sad stuff in this. And But Gladwell is one of those guys who can help see some correlation between different things. And this, I don't think this is my favorite Gladwell book, but I do think there are some things to think about, and I'll continue to come back to it. So that now what I'm reading next, I am listening to the audiobook of Project Hail Mary. I read that when it first came out and I loved it. The movie's coming out, and the audiobook was on sale a while ago, and so I'm rolling over to that. And then I am also continuing to read some different comic books for my light reading. And then I have a bunch of course material for a class I'm teaching that I need to kind of reread. And so I'm going to be tackling a bird's eye view of Luke and Acts. I'm teaching a class called Preaching and Teaching Luke Acts. And so this is by Michael Bird, A Bird's Eye View. See, clever, that clever Australian. And so this is a good book, and I really enjoy Bird's perspective, and the way he approaches the topic is great. So I'm doing that. I will also another book. There's 4 textbooks and several chapters that students have to read. Another book that I am looking forward to reviewing is The Story Luke Tells by Justo Gonzalez, and this is a shorter book that kind of introduces some specific themes. And so the way I'm approaching this text or this class is students have to basically develop a preaching series and a discipleship plan for a theme in Luke Acts. And so this is going to be helpful. And then because Acts is a narrative, they're trying to help students engage with narrative in the Bible, and how do you preach narrative and interact with narrative text. And so they're going to be reading from this. And then just a classic for my church tradition, The Charismatic Theology of St. Luke by Roger Stronstad. And so looking at Luke's understanding of the Holy Spirit. And so that's kind of what I am re-engaging with over the semester. I'll still be able to do some fun reading over the term, but that's what I'm up to. So thanks. If you watched all this, let me know, what are you reading, and what are you looking forward to engaging with books this year. I'm not going to do a reading goal. I'm not going to do a book challenge. I'm doing my own little personal curriculum project this year. And so, yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. Books are great. Read books, and I'll talk to you later.